All right, so Heather, you have had so many community events. You, I would say, like really have conquered this fear of like putting yourself out there, getting out in your community. So can you tell me about your very first community event that you hosted? Just go for it, tell me.
Okay, I hosted my first event at Little Pandas in Everett, Washington, so very close to where my business is. I'm located in Mount Lake Terrace. And how it kind of came about was, you know, I brought my daughter there and she was enjoying herself, and I introduced myself to the barista, and I was like, hey, I'm a mental health therapist, here's my business card, I'm in the local area. I noticed that a lot of moms are here, and I work primarily with moms, and I was curious, you know, if you could pass on my business card to the owner, you know, because I would like for her to know like who I am, who I serve, and how her clients could potentially benefit from therapy. And so she ended up like going there the next day, so I met up with her and we realized we aligned a lot, and I hosted an event which was just about, you know, creating community with moms and having them really talk about the realities and experiences. And what's great about a place like Little Pandas is that the kids can play, mom can still have that time with other, you know, women or parents in the area to talk about these things, and then I could also teach and introduce some strategies. So the event ended up being like an hour and a half long, and I think it turned out pretty, but I noticed like as I was speaking and just really kind of honing in on being authentic to myself and not trying to be somebody else really helped kind of calm my nerves and, you know, like take some deep breaths beforehand. And yeah, it was great, and I'm really proud of myself for doing
I was so, like, when you did that, I was so proud. So, okay, now at this point, you've hosted some other community events, you've gotten out there. Do you feel like, what do you wish you had known, or what would you have told yourself on that first community event, knowing what you know now?
Like, you got this, you know, don't try and be somebody that you're not. People will love you for who you are, and you know, everyone out there is looking for specific type of therapist, and if I just kind of hone in on truly embracing who I am, like for example, I love to kind of like dress up to work and wear heels, so that's how I showed up at that event. And I'm sure there are people who really like vibe with that, and so I think if I could go back, I would just tell myself like, don't be too hard on yourself, and you're perfect the way you are, just like show up how you know you are.
Absolutely. I mean, I think about that as like, we're looking at like your YouTube channel, which everybody should make sure to check out Heather's YouTube channel. And like, you're stepping into this like really cool new chapter in your own journey of like expanding even further beyond one-to-one therapy. And it's like the same goes for that. It's like, just show up, be yourself, post the video. I always think like, okay, sometimes like putting yourself out there, it's like we just have to do the damn thing, you know, and we forget. Okay, so let's move on to the next question I have for you, which is, you are a mom. How do you balance being a mom, opening a new business, getting licensed? And obviously, like, I think balance is this like very elusive word where we're like, oh, like, you know, like we have the balance, but what does it look like for you on a daily basis?
That's a great question. I feel like I'm still working on that. I tend to put a lot on my plate, but right now I'm kind of trying to cap my day at like 6 p.m. Feels like a good stop point for me right now. And I work Monday through Thursday, so I give myself a 3-day weekend just because I have a large caseload. And I'm trying to do YouTube, so I need some time to
You need a day to film YouTube videos.
Yeah, so I guess that's kind of where I'm at with that.
Yeah, I know. I think it's like, one thing I always like think is like cooking dinner. Okay, so like, how do you guys cook dinner? Who cooks dinner? Does your husband cook dinner? Who cooks dinner?
So if we can on Sunday, we'll try and meal prep, but my husband, he is doing a lot of the heavy lifting, and that's okay. Like,
totally, you know? Dude, that's amazing. Are you kidding? That's more than okay. That's the way it should be.
I'm like, the least you can do now.
No, I love it.
And then on the weekends, you know, we'll either like go out to eat or I'll cook dinner. But, you know, right now I think he's just really supportive of my dreams, and I'm hoping eventually to kind of bring down my caseload. But since I'm still really new in it, we kind of talked about it ahead of time and knew like, this is what it's going to take for me to create the business that I want.
Yeah, so tell me a little now, so like, where is your caseload at currently? Like, where are you kind of sitting?
Okay. Don't follow in my footsteps.
Do what I say, not as I do.
I have 32 right now, and I'm hoping to kind of bring that down in the future and possibly bring up my rate or bump up my rate. So we'll kind of see where that's going.
Let's talk a little about that. So, because I think this is something a lot of us struggle with as therapists is so you're currently at 150. When you think about bumping up your rate, what are some of the things that are kind of swirling through your head right now about it?
Well, with my demographic, like half my caseload is teens or, people in their early 20s. And a lot of the times I will think about myself in my early 20s and like what I could afford at that time. And I think sometimes that can get in the way of like, bumping up my rate when a lot of my competitors or other people in the area are charging more than me. So I think just kind of reminding myself of like the time that I put into my training. I spent a lot of money. I'm EMDR trained, about to be certified in the near future, and things like that. That costs money. So yeah, I think that's what's been getting in the way of like why I haven't bumped up, but I am a year in and I think this is a good time to transition and get paid more so I can work less and be with my family, since I am at full capacity.
I know we were sitting at breakfast this morning and kind of talking this through of like when is the time, and I think like when you get to a point where you're full and you realize, okay, I'm sacrificing some hours with my family in order to build this business, and sometimes we forget that if we raise our fee even just like $10 or $5, it makes a huge difference when you're seeing 30 clients a week. And it allows you, especially if you raise like $10 or $20, to take one of those appointments off a week. And like then you could take 2 appointments off a week, and even just having 1 or 2 hours a week back in your schedule, like for me, like that's a workout or that's a pickup time with my kids, or it makes a huge difference. Absolutely. But I know it's sometimes really hard. So when you think about raising your fee, I'm somebody who usually will raise like new clients but not existing. Like, have you thought about any of that?
Yeah, I think my existing clients I think I'll keep it the way it is, or if I raise it like maybe $5 or $10.
Right.
But then I think the new clients I do want to start charging more.
Yeah. I know I usually will do it that way. Like I'll raise my existing clients one time per year and I'll put it in my paperwork. I raise my fee every January by X%, and then, but it's a smaller increase, just like a gym or something like that. And then I'll raise my fee more for newer clients and things like that. I think that's a
pro tip over here.
Okay, the last topic I wanted to talk about is pre-licensure.
Yeah.
So, you're just at the very tail end of pre-licensure. And when you look back from graduate school to now, what has this journey been like being a pre-licensed therapist?
Insane.
Horrible.
Honestly, it's been good. Like when I think back to it, I worked at a local community college as a counselor there. And I feel like that was a point where I really kind of honed in on like, I really like doing career counseling with clients. I do that in my practice now, especially when talking about teens or people going into their 20s. So I really love that I gained that experience. And then working in community mental health, there was a lot of benefit to that. That's when I realized how to help clients who are struggling with trauma. That's when I did EMDR. I'm really grateful for all of the experiences. And then also having that moment where I realized, I want more than just the 9 to 5. I do want to build a business. And I feel like in grad school, a lot of the times, professors don't talk about that. They tell you you're going to make, a certain amount for the rest of your life, and it's pretty negative. And I felt like in this pre-licensure journey, I learned to, kind of block out that noise and align myself more with people like Kelley or other folks who do want to be entrepreneurs and do the work that feels really fulfilling for them. So I guess I'm really just grateful for everything, and I can't believe I'm an associate and have a business that's been around for a year and is doing well. So I'm just really grateful for every step. During those steps, there were times that felt hard. It felt like it was never gonna, be over. But I wouldn't change anything about it.
I can't believe like you're so close to being at the tail end and being licensed, and like your practice is where you want it. Like I wonder if you looked back to like the day you started grad school. So how long ago, when did you graduate?
I graduated in 2023.
So like if we think about just from 2023 to 2025, how much you've accomplished, it's wild. It's pretty cool. So anyway, I'm so happy that you're here. So happy you've been here. Thanks for coming on my channel.
Thank you, Kelley.